Is there anybody who'd like to make a comment at this time?
Wes?
I haven't had a chance to look at any of it, so I wouldn't have. All I can say is the good things that this board does.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
That's unusual.
We'll appreciate that comment.
That's the only one I'll probably ever get documented.
That was good. Okay, let's see here. Not on the agenda. Begin with, I'm kind of curious why our regular December monthly meeting was canceled. Because I was looking forward to GM's.
Let me just tell you why that I was going to do.
Oh, sure,
I
good.
was going to introduce the meeting, and I was going to explain that. The reason for that is the first item on the agenda, it's item A. We wanted to get approval from the county. In order for us to do that, we had to have the meeting early for that, to do that.
It was due on the 15th.
It was due on the 15th.
Approval of the county, you mean the 12 meeting?
Yes,
Yeah, the
yes.
multi-jurisdictional.
I think you did it last year too.
Yeah, we may have gotten,
Yeah.
so that's the reason we held it early. So go ahead.
Requires a vote today.
Well, why couldn't you just have a special meeting and kept our regular meeting too?
We, well.
That's what they've always done in the past.
Well, we didn't see any need to do that. There's not that many items on the agenda. We didn't see a need to have 2 meetings within 3-4 days.
Yeah, well, you know, it just seems like there's always something that sabotages a customer's agenda request.
But we got
And
you.
now we don't even have the meeting.
But we got you.
Isn't that
Saved
amazing?
you $500 though.
Isn't that wild? Isn't that wild? You know, customers do what they're supposed to do to get these questions answered at meetings. So I put it in last month on the day of the meeting for the December meeting, and now the December meeting isn't here. Isn't that weird? Oh, well, that's all right. You know what it reminds me of when I was a correctional officer at the Honor Farm? You know, I'd come in and pull my 8-hour shift, but everybody else in the farm had 24/7 to figure out how they were going to screw us. Same thing here. Okay.
They're calling us inmates.
Yeah, no, not all of you.
Okay.
Okay, anyway, where were we? Yeah, GM Campus said it was a simple mistake as far as the property being added to the outside MID-POU that the state water board caught on their notice of violation, and said that it would be simple to explain. So I was looking forward to that explanation, because it seems to me, once the property is included, it increases the groundwater substitution required for it. Plus, it violates our resolution of no further additions. Let's see. Oh yeah, and again, because we don't have a regular meeting, we don't have the outside POU report, which is again left out. And I'm kind of confused with these unattached reports that accompany the agenda that we're sandbagged with the day of the meeting, or the day before the meeting. They don't meet that 24-hour notification. You know, it just seems like we get surprised, so we're trying to read real quick and catch up, find out what's going on. And in that respect, the engineer's report that was, I believe it was sent around 3 o'clock or something, was it sent 3?
I believe so, I can't recall.
So if it was sent at 3, it should have been sent before 1300 to meet the 24 hours. If it was after that, then it probably shouldn't even be considered. And if for no other reason, it's an extremely biased engineer's report, because these are the same engineers that set up expansion of the POU before we were even a public agency through LAFCO. Well, I guess that's it for the opening. We got other stuff as we go, but thank you for the explanation of why we didn't have a meeting. I mean, it doesn't make sense, but okay.
I appreciate your comments, and we'll consider that. Okay, the next item on
Can
the
I-
agenda.
I received about 7 requests, phone calls, this week and last week, from the people who live in the Bay Area, namely in the peninsula, about the status of our fire hydrants. But they're very concerned, when they were last tested, and can we get a report on that? And one of them is an attorney, and he said, if we have a fire in that property, we're going to go sue the district and the board members on it for damages. Because they're very concerned about those fires we've been having in Northern California and down in Southern California. So how soon can they get a copy of the fire hydrant report when they were tested in the condition? Any idea? So I can give it to the people?
I will have to take a look at that, I'll
I talked to CAL FIRE, and they said they're supposed to be tested every 3 years. That's according to CAL FIRE in Sacramento. How accurate the information, I don't know. Anyway, because they said, if we have problems with the properties they get damaged, they're gonna sue the district and including the board members for not being properly working. Thank you.
thank you. Anyone else? Okay, I have no comment, I'm gonna pass this.
Okay, I have no comment. I'm going to pass this on to, the next item is the general manager's report, and I'm going to pass that on to Mr. Capel to go ahead and provide us with an update.
Okay, so in front of you, you have the written general manager's report that was distributed today, and it was distributed today because of the fact that I was waiting on reviewing information that has been coming in over the weeks to be able to just summarize it in this report. It's not an action item, it's an informational item for the board. So it's not listed on the agenda as an action item, and it's not, we're required to provide copies of that to anyone who requests copies. It's on the website, you have it as well. So I'm going to summarize that report, and also I meant to, within the written part of the report, under the State Water Board violation notice, Division of Water Rights, I meant to address in writing the fact that there have been no new connections to the system. My statement that Lou had said that it was a simple mistake. That was not a simple mistake that the district has made. It's a simple mistake that the state has made in their statement on the report. And I've asked them for the documentation that they have that supports that statement that they made. And the person that was responsible for preparing the report and handling the claim has not been responding to voicemails or emails until this week. On Monday, I had a new person get back to me. Actually, she did get back to me and say, whoops, sorry, I'm no longer with the division. So she's not with the Division of Water Rights. Everybody's moved over to the groundwater division because of all the goings on with the state groundwater regulations. And so there's another person that's responsible for it. I contacted him, talked to him on Monday about this, and he responded back to me yesterday, actually today, with an email that said it's going to take them a while to figure out how they made that statement. That's all that I know. But Cindy and I spent, I don't know, several hours going through the records to see how they could have made that mistake. Because there have been no additional connections outside the place of use at all for, I don't know, a decade. Since the wastewater plant was connected. So I just wanna let you know that that's the case. And that is the comment that we will make back formally to the state. I don't expect them to respond and tell me how they made that statement, but,
See, you can comment on things that aren't on the agenda.
it's not an agenda item. I'm not asking for action. I'm giving an update on the status of projects and work.
Right.
But
you can answer questions.
so when it comes to, and also the engineer's report from Bingley, it's just a letter memo describing what we would need to do to make sure that the Ranchito well is adequate and what its current capacity is, and also taking a closer look at the consumption outside the place of use once that boundary is, once the parcels within that boundary are approved by the Department of Water Resources and the State Water Board, then we can compare the consumption of those properties with the amount of water produced now by the well. So that's, she specifically gets into detail about that. There will likely be future agenda items about that issue. The Dollar General store and the Lake Belvedere storage.